I think my whole life I've actually been an artist, but for the longest time I didn't know it. I've always made things and just didn't consider what I made artwork. It was just sort of like this natural extension of what I felt I had to do. I would just use things that were around the house. And I just had this kind of natural tendency to use my hands to manipulate them in some way, combine them. And so that was just something I always did. And I made things off and on throughout my life. And at the end of my freshman year of college, I was really not sure what I wanted to do with my life and was even questioning whether I wanted to even be in college. So that second semester, I was just like kind of phasing my way out, and a friend was taking an art class, and I was like, you know what, I've always liked to make things. I'll take this as a fun class, as like my last course at school, and just ended up really enjoying myself. I really connected with the professor, also the mentor that I had in undergrad, Mark Monroe. He's a found object artist, and so he was very influential. And kind of seeing that connection between what I was doing and art, and seeing that he was doing the same thing, it really helped spur a lot of my love for the object. He just really inspired me and made me realize that I had been making art my whole life, and just kind of took off from there. So I moved to Dallas, kind of found some somewhat art-related jobs, did some design work and things. And it just wasn't really my scene. I had a really good friend of mine who had moved to Austin, and I came to visit her one time, fell in love with the city, just the energy and the people that I'd met here. I mean, like within the first hour of visiting my friend here, I just knew this was the place where I needed to settle down. I think Austin's energy of otherness was really attractive to me. And as soon as I got here, it was just, it was that weird Austin feel. Didn't even know what that was at the time, but I just knew that I fit more within that realm. My most current piece is Austin Art in Public Places sponsored tempo program piece called El Capacitor. It's an installation that is in Metz Park in East Austin. And through the piece, I'm addressing the issues that people of color in that neighborhood are experiencing, particularly at this juncture in Austin's history with regards to gentrification. That neighborhood is changing very, very rapidly, and I felt helpless just sitting by and watching all these, Latino-owned businesses disappearing or being bulldozed, and things of that nature. People being priced out of their neighborhoods, and wanting to address that in a way that A, spoke to their political situation, and B, giving them political power. And by that, I mean I'm trying to amplify their voices with this piece. It is a platform with a podium and 5 flagpoles that rise from it. The flags themselves are made from clothing from people in that neighborhood. I did workshops with the seniors that attend programming there, as well as their teen program. And we did poetry writing. We made our own flags. They brought clothing that they donated for the piece. And through all of that, these workshops, we kind of came together with a text that I've used their own words and their ideas, and it turned into a spoken word piece that was delivered at El Capacitor. So I moved here 16 years ago, and it was still a very small scene. There are, I wouldn't say a lot more spaces than there used to be, but there are more, and they're more open to including people from outside of Austin. With Austin losing its people of color, you lose those voices. And so by having spaces that actually bring in others to speak to their truths and to what their experiences are is all that much more important. It's increased so quickly in terms of size and population, and that directly affects the personality of the city. Space and traffic and prices are a huge shift in recent years. The cost of living, studio space, transportation, food, all of it's taken a huge toll on artists. There are people who are having to move away because the cost of living is skyrocketed. They can't afford rent, or if they do, they have to live with other roommates who might cramp their creative process. The cost of transporting work, buying materials, everything, prices go up. And I think because of that, we are losing people. They're moving away. I'm here because of the people still. I've created a really great network of friends and family here who make it worthwhile. The city also, even though it's shifted a bit, there's still kind of an overarching sense of community and connectivity. They're very supportive of the arts. I don't think that's something you find in a lot of cities. So, financial and moral, people are more exposed to art, more educated, have more of a background in it, so they can speak to it better. So I think that's a very important part of Austin.